Okay. Could you fuck what button I hit? Okay, there we go. Could you please send up the stream? Thank you. Welcome to the Dizzycast Podcast. I'm here with my friends, Kaizen VA. Talk to me. How you doing today, man? I can't hear you if you're speaking.
I'm going all right.
That's good to hear, man. That's good. Dragon, I fucking hate you and your avatar. Tell me how you're doing today.
Man, I'm out of here.
We just thought it! Okay. Aloe vera sauce, tell me, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. That's good to hear. Today, I would like to talk about Stub v Dub. But not just talking about anime. We're going to start with anime, though. So, because that's where it all, like, really originates. That's where all the arguments really come from. It's about the anime, usually. Because it's like, they're saying, but it's like, it's always like an argument. Sub versus dub. People use, like, the nerds always say, like, if you ain't watching sub, you ain't watching it. Know what I mean? But, like, for me, I disagree. Because for a lot of people, they like to, respectfully, a lot of people, they like to multitask while watching something. So, like, you can, like, having this, like, right here, like, you watching the anime in English, and you, like, cooking or doing something productive while you watching it. So, like, you get, like, so you multitask. It's like, and that's cool. A lot of people like to do that. That's why people like podcasts. That's why people like listening to music while doing shit. Like, that's what people do. But you can't really do that with some shows. You have to full focus so you can read what the fuck they saying. It's also ass if it's multiple people speaking at once, but that's besides the point. I also want to bring up the fact that...
What? Well, I was gonna say, I don't. My opinion on like the first part before you get to your second part is, I think like if there's too much going on in the anime, then there's no way I'm doing subtitles. Like there's just no way. Like if it's one of those high action multiple things going on across the screen and you got to pay attention, make sure you don't miss a detail. No, I'm so sorry, but I'm just gonna have to listen to the English voice actors.
Imagine them niggas speed talking with it too. If they speed talking and it, like, yeah, it's impossible. You ain't reading none of that. It's like,
Exactly, bro.
and even
like,
still,
like if I wanted to read something, I would watch or I would read the manga, bro.
Exactly.
Like if I'm looking at the anime, it's more easier.
I read the manga mostly because it's like you could take your own pace with it. It's like it's still reading the shit, so it's not that different to me from watching anime and sub. Know what I mean? It's slightly better actually to me. But I also gotta say, for like saying that English dub is always bad, the English dub isn't bad. It's just that the script itself, base form, is ass, and you can realize how ass it is in your own language. Because like as a wise man once said, you can definitely read this shit, but you sure as hell can't say it. Cause some things are, oh, am I crashing? Oh no, thank God. Cause some things are like, yeah, they're way easier to read. Like you could just read those on a page. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. But like hear that shit out loud, it's like, ew. What the fuck? But and then at the same time,
Yeah.
but like you don't get that problem if you hear it in sub because you don't understand what the fuck they're saying. You're just reading what the fuck they're saying. So it gives a sense of like elitism. So it's like, damn, sub is so much better because I can't understand it. English, this sounds so fucking dumb in English. It's because the voice actors are bad. The voice direction is bad. You know, I'm not gonna lie though. Sometimes the voice direction and voice acting can be bad. But sometimes the script is just dick on the ground garbage. And that's not the that's no fault than other the story. That's just the story's fault itself for being bad. and not many people gonna say that. But
Yep.
you know, I'm gonna move away from this from anime because everybody talks about the anime part. I want to move to video games because that's what we mostly talk about on podcasts, on Dizzycast Podcast. We talk about video games and shit. I want to talk about video games because
Dizzycast. Yep.
me, Reese, like I'm trying to get into the Yakuza series. I've beaten 2 games so far. I like the series. It's fun. I'm not gonna hold you. Sitting down and enjoying this whole story, kind of fucking difficult with only subs. It's okay. Like I like the story, but the thing is, it's a game, so it's not the same as like a show or like like a manga or whatever, because I'm trying to be immersed in the story, right? I'm in the story as the player. I'm in the story. I get to like enforce my will onto the main character. I'm like part of the story. So like, and me not understanding the language that is being spoken, it kind of fuck with the immersion. Know what I mean, so
Yeah.
I like Yakuza series mostly because it's story heavy, but story's not the only part. It's a lot of dumb fucking fun and beating the fuck out of people. That's mostly what the Yakuza series is. It's a whole bunch of fun mini games. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I've realized that like English is kind of a slower language compared to most out there that are like Japanese games, which are like what you were talking about Yakuza. A lot of Asian creators and a lot of Asian languages are just faster than English. Just
Yeah.
point blank. Period. Same with Spanish. Like
Yeah.
it's just it flows a lot smoother because the language comes from deep rooted culture and they've been speaking it for centuries, if not thousands of years. You know what I mean? And so English is not saying English isn't old, but the English language itself is just it has a lot more slang than other languages, and the slang is newer compared to other languages, and so I feel like that's really a problem
English is
are we
derivative of a
considered
lot of other languages. So yeah.
the West Coast, right?
Yeah, we're like on the western side of the world.
Yeah, so I feel like it's a Western problem where it's like our we're so used to everything being only in English here because that's the majority, and like so then a lot of people are saying, oh well, you don't need it, you just read the subtitles, but it's like you're reading it in English, which is slower than how they're speaking it, so the messages goes zooming across the screen, and it's like, what the fuck? Because we have different punctuation. Our sentences are just genuinely written longer compared to other languages, and so I feel like that's a big contribution to the issue of people like they just assume everyone is supposed to read at the same speed that they're reading at. So it's like okay, which is low key ableist, low key because like Bella Thorne, she struggled when she was on Disney to read that script, and when she was on Shake It Up. And she was shaking up. She was really just shaking up that brain, trying to see if she could read because the alphabet soup fucked her up when she was a kid. So that's how I feel about it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
But
Helen Keller,
I hate you. Shut up.
Yeah, it's even more crazy because look. What do you say? It's even more
He said Helen
crazy
Keller.
because the English language is a lot more descriptive than other language.
Yeah.
Because in Japanese you have different meanings in one word. Well, in English, you have like a basic form of sentence or like phrase that you would say to something. So when you put that onto like a game or something in like entertainment wise, you have to like figure out what the hell they saying. Well, in the dub version, it's like okay, now I understand better. And although the English language is like really hard to like understand if you're a foreigner or like you just don't know what the fuck it is, right? It's actually the most like common language people use in a lot of countries. Like even in like Japan or China, they use like English words that goes with their like damn, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dialect.
Dialect.
Like
yeah.
they have like
they
English
use
classes
this shit as
in
well.
Japanese schools.
Exactly.
And you know what?
You don't see that in America. The closest thing you get is like Spanish class, but like Yeah.
We'll catch
Also to
Spanish
add
now,
on
probably
to it,
have more
a
spoken.
lot of subs are Google Translate. And you can
That's
definitely
true.
tell.
That's true.
Like a lot of it is
Yeah.
complete ass. Like the sentences are so broken. And it's like, so why should we just take the scraps of what we get? Why can't we demand for better? Why is it that the sub community could just be like, oh well, Naruto has good subs, so that means everything is good and y'all are fine. No,
Naruto
bitch,
big
some of us
budget
don't want to
too.
watch a 12-year-old ninja get fucked up and turn into a nine-tailed fox. Some of us want to see something interesting. Okay, like
Yeah.
not to shit on you dumbass bitches, but
That's a shit on you dumbass bitches.
Boruto ate him up. So because let's be for real though, like this going off topic, but like a lot of anime fans feel. I know we're not going directly on anime, but we're talking about Japanese games, aren't we? And we're talking about Asian games that have to be
Yeah.
translated. So this is kind of in the same realm. And you think about it like this: there'll be a fan of like Yakuza, right? There'll be Yakuza fans. They're like, oh, the sub is okay for me, so therefore I don't care about any other game's issues because you should just deal with it. You see what I mean? It's like they don't.
Yeah.
They're kind of just, they have a sense of permanence. Like they're stuck on that one thing and they're like, okay, I mean, I like this, so therefore fuck you, bitch. And yeah. It's like, that's not fair to everybody. Not everybody
Like the
has the same
gameplay might
subtitle
be
preference.
ass, but it's in Japanese, so it don't matter.
I gotta say though, what I was gonna say though
Yeah,
earlier.
there's a lot of people who say that.
Let me say though, the games like are really fun. Like the thing about it is Yakuza itself, it's like yeah, it has a good story. It has like an important story to it, but there's a lot more shit to it. The problem is when a game has money, you know it has money. It could get a English voice acting team. They don't, and it's a heavy story game. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I can't be
Wait.
sliding.
Wait.
Huh?
Doesn't what's it called? Doesn't Judgment have an English team?
Judgment. Yes, it does. Judgment and
Ju-
Yakuza now
Yeah.
has an English localization because Yakuza
Okay.
7 and
Alright.
Judgment have English voice acting. So like they've had English
Okay.
voice acting money for a hot minute, but they just haven't used it till 7. But I'm gonna say like I could not. I bought Soccer Wars. I played it a little bit. I couldn't get through it. It's just too anime-ish because there's too much anime bullshit in it. Much anime bullshit in it. It was only in sub. I'm sitting here. I wanted to fight in giant robots. You have me in here doing a dating sim. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I like that game.
Like it was cute.
it
Like
was
some of it
alright.
was cute, but like, nigga,
It was alright.
Wait,
I
can you
ain't
twerk
coming
in
for.
that game?
No, you cannot. It's a dating sim.
Oh, I don't like that game.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
like it,
saying.
no.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
dating
like
sim.
it.
I'm
It's
not.
ass.
It's bad.
It's a dating sim, but it was
Outworking
like
mechanic.
fucking. It was like advertised as like an RPG, like you fighting in robots. I got to do that one time
Yeah.
after playing like fucking 4 hours of it. I got to do it like one time. I wasn't fucking with it. And then I also gotta say,
Yeah.
there's this other game I played. I tricked all of you. This is about VR. It was a VR game, a VR visual novel. Every word is spoken in Japanese. Now I gotta tell you, I gotta ask you, what the fuck is the point of VR? To put yourself in it. To put yourself in it. To feel like you're like in the virtual reality. To feel like you're immersed, like you're in there. I'm not feeling like I'm in there when I'm a fucking high school Japanese boy and I can't understand everybody around me. And the worst part about it is the viewpoint of the game was literally like a few feet above everybody. So I just had to look down at everybody like I was like a good 2 feet taller than them. That game did not need to be in VR. That game did not need to be in VR. The only reason like I could say it needed to be in VR is because is the opening anime sequence because that shit was clean. Cause it started like a little 2D screen and then it busted around you and now the whole world around you is like the music video you in it. I thought that was hard. But like besides that, there wasn't shit to do with it. I'm just sitting here confused like what the fuck? Like this story ain't like I'm supposed to be sitting here like this, playing with my fucking VR remote. like in a virtual reality, like this supposed like I'm like this fucking brick on my head is doing anything to this? Nigga, I could just look at
It
my
might as
fucking
well be
regular
like a PC
screen.
game with the way it built. It don't make no sense.
It's not. You can't even play regular PC. You have to be on VR. I don't understand why. But yeah.
Alright, well,
But this also gotta say, I also gotta say this. Subs and does make sense if you ain't got no money for a localization team. Like, cause, and even still, even if you do have a sub localization team, it only makes sense if you're doing like some of the big popular languages. Cause of course, there's not a single game out there that has every fucking language in it. Not even Pokemon. Only recently they got like what? Pokemon got what? 9 languages in it. Like
that's crazy because I think Super Smash Bros. Has more than Pokemon in terms of like local stuff like that.
maybe, but even still, no game out there has all.
If we're really talking about, I just thought about if we're talking about video games, you can change Smash Bros. To any language and it sounds fluent in that language. Or like there are some games I know that like all of their languages they actually took the time to make sure it was good, especially Nintendo. Nintendo really does that.
So.
The thing about Nintendo though, it's funny.
Yeah, they don't use the same ones.
The funniest part about Nintendo games, they almost never have an important or good story. It's only about the game. So the localization and like using different languages don't matter that much, but they do it.
What's the Legend of Zelda story game?
Legend of Zelda, yeah, but like I'm talking about like Nintendo as a whole. I bet you can't tell me the story of Kirby. Tell me the story of Kirby, Kaiser.
Yeah, he is okay.
Wait, which one? Which Kirby?
Like his general story.
Okay, but you can't do the same
All
thing
I
with
know
Mario,
is-
Zelda,
honestly,
Sonic.
Yeah, it's like how Mario is. Basically, some fuck shit happens fucking world.
The story don't matter.
Like, oh shit.
The game matters. So
I
the
mean,
localization doesn't really matter.
Exactly, yeah.
Like the game is fun, so it's like you don't really need.
They started with the story.
Yeah.
They started with the story in the 90s. All of these games started with stories when they first came out. It's just that they've never done good. They take forever to expand on the story, so it kind of loses its importance of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's really no.
like with Kirby, he a piece of bubble gum that somebody spit out, and then somebody stepped on it with radioactive like Spider-Man shit, and then now he can stuff the world off.
And that was only in the instruction manual.
Holy.
Word. Oh, damn. You know, they discontinued the instruction manual. We don't know a goddamn thing about it unless you look at the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And even
All
that's
you
like,
really need to know is Kirby just sucks shit up and becomes with.
They did, didn't
Zelda's
they?
different though.
I just realized
They don't got
when you
instruction
buy
manual.
games.
They don't come in instruction manual.
Bro, I just realized when you buy video games like we buy Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, like I remember like they didn't have nothing. What the hell? Wait.
And I will also
it's like
say,
I remember back in Black and White. When I first did Black and White, they had like some info in there. I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
here,
Wait a minute, dang! I didn't even notice. The fuck?
it's because most games come with
I did not
tutorials
know
and
that
shit
was gonna be
nowadays,
like a little school
so you
board
don't
toss
need
on the
it.
trailer.
Yeah. They baby the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. But I will also say this: games that like
They're
have
mad
like
cute.
no text at all, they are free from localization. Because if you just put the game out, no text in it at all, and it's just like a fun, good time, you're straight. You don't need no localization team. What the fuck is a localization team? You don't need that.
Right.
What about instructions? What about like? Okay, so let's say
I
you're getting
mean-
that type of game, right?
See,
But
like
it's hardly like on the English side.
Like,
All they really need to do is like show the button.
it
and
depends
show,
on the
like, a
game.
little symbol, then dump it. Yeah.
Like if you play like a platformer game, all you really need is all you need to do is have like a little picture showing. I move left, move right, hit the jump button. You good?
Right.
What if you're disabled?
There's different like
Accessibility. How you
there's-
gonna manage that?
there's different accessibility controllers, but like most developers don't take that into account honestly.
God,
And see, that's why I was saying the
That's sad.
ableism. Remember, I said it earlier. I
Yep.
said the ableism. I did, which is actually low key like an actual problem though. In some games, like some developers really don't like some games don't have colorblind mode. There are still games to this day that are coming out modernly the colorblind mode.
Yeah.
And a customization on colorblind mode, not just releasing now your green gonna be blue. No, bitch, you need to actually let them go in there and specifically change the colors. Like Overwatch does it. You can actually go in and physically change exactly what you need to change for colorblind mode. Meanwhile, some other games just be like, okay, now it's pink and green. You good? You can see. Like that's not that's not right.
The
I
new God
guess
of
because they focus more on the game.
That's true. The new God of War that came out,
Yeah.
that has good accessibility options. They not only have like a bunch of colorblind options, they also have options for you to, like change the colors of your character, and the enemies, so it's much easier to differentiate things on the screen.
Didn't they got an award for that, or was that?
They got an award for that. They got an award for that. Accessibility.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright. So all those jokes we were making about God of War winning was alright, okay. Aight.
Yeah, I'm saying they shouldn't. They like, cause yeah, for some of the shit they just won because it just dropped. That's why I think the Game Awards are some bullshit.
Yeah.
But, you know, some of the things they were right about. God of War is actually a really good game, really good story. But you know, it just came out right when the Game Awards came out. It's fresh on everybody's mind. They're gonna be like, man, I just played this game. The Game Awards is here. The game I just played is gonna be on that. Of course. What the fuck?
It's crazy
It gotta
too,
be
because
good.
everyone thought it was gonna win. Everyone wanted it to
Honestly,
go
though,
bad, but that's even.
Bro, the main thing that made them do good was the fact that it was the first time people could get a PS5 like in 2 years, because God of War, the PlayStation 5 God of War bundle was the only time I've been able to go outside my house and actually see a PlayStation 5 in the store. When the PlayStation 5 first came out, and for that long 2-year period, no, I have never seen a PlayStation 5 in the stores because they're always sold out instantly. But the God of War bundle, I don't know what they did, but they kept them in stock. They back to back. Like me and Dizzy went to GameStop a couple of times and kept seeing it. What the? Okay, and you know, and they just put a lot of effort into keeping these things in stock, and I feel like that's what really did the main seller. Just because it was like finally people could play a 4K system with the new game that just came out.
That's true, but I've heard like they've actually made like an article saying that apparently that didn't contribute to most of its sales. It contributed some of its sales, but not most of it. Most of the sales was just people actually buying the game.
Yeah, like I feel like Spider-Man, definitely Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out. They definitely.
I feel like it definitely had to have helped at least at some point, because it's like that was the biggest resurgence of PS5s we've seen in the market in literally 2 years. You can't, unless you were waiting in line for the store to open up, and then hopefully you were one of the 10 people that got in there first and got a PS5. You weren't getting one. And then even online, people's orders were getting canceled. People couldn't get a hold on one. It's like, right? It's just like, I feel like that the article might be, you know, they have the numbers. However, they definitely can't say it didn't do anything, because that was the first time they've actually kept PS5s in stock that I've seen.
I
think it's because it was too expensive for scalpers to give a fuck about.
Yeah. But going back to the topic at hand, I will say that for a lot of games that like they have to have localization because they know their fan base can't read. Name a Dragon Ball game that isn't in dub.
Damn.
You know Dragon Ball fans can't read. Name a Dragon Ball game that's not in dub.
Heroes.
Heroes not in dub.
Can I be honest?
That's why they don't like
Dragon Ball
Heroes.
I've never heard Dragon Ball in Japanese. I've just never heard Dragon Ball in Japanese. I literally, when I was a kid and I first heard about Dragon Ball, you couldn't tell me it wasn't made in America. Like, I just literally couldn't believe it. I was like, that's Japanese? Wow, that's crazy. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. Dragon Ball.
Because it feels
it's like a little card.
Doesn't it just feel like it has to have been affected by American culture? Like, I feel like it's definitely westernized anime.
It's based off of
that.
It's based off of like.
Well, the first part of it was. Like the first original part
Yeah,
of
the
it was.
first one.
But then after that, that nigga just
Yeah.
did whatever the fuck he wanted, honestly.
I feel like they definitely have some American influence because it was too like the English is too good, and it feels like the way they be acting, the way the episodes are written, it's a little too well done for it to be full Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays
And
they
same
just do
with
whatever the
Pokemon.
fuck they want.
It's also because their
Same with
localization.
Pokemon. I mean, but Pokemon has
Yeah.
openly admitted that like America is like their greatest customer besides Japan itself and all of Asian countries, but America like is like the biggest like outside of an Asian country customer for Pokemon. And
For Dragon Ball, it would be like Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah, like a lot of shit
Japan
got heavy
benefits
like
heavily.
localization sites. Like the thing is also like
Yeah.
that's like only for some popular things. I can't name a single One Piece game that has a dub in it. Even though the one that
You know
just
what,
dropped,
though,
there's
Dre?
one that just dropped like last month. That ain't got no
Yeah.
dub.
Yeah.
That shit only in Japanese.
Yep.
you know what though?
Tell me something.
Oh, this week.
Pokemon
Oh shit!
Pokemon and Dragon Ball made like their success like definitely skyrocketed with the their localization prioritization. That's the word.
Of
Yes,
course.
I
since
think.
they prioritized it. I feel like it definitely helped.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I think for the One Piece though, for like, there's something. It's like something with the licensing because like I think last year or they just got like
Oh, I fixed it.
episodes and shit like that. So like,
Understandable.
it's just some weird licensing. I think that
Understandable.
because
Okay,
J-Star
what do you
is
think about this though?
Stars is now.
Since we're on the topic of
Oh.
dub and sub, right?
Yeah.
No, this begs the question. One Piece is huge, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not as easily marketable as maybe Dragon Ball or JoJo because their localization for other languages is just gone, completely non-existent.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about the marketing side of it? Because I know we're talking about the fan bases and saying all fans like dub or sub, but what about the business aspect? What about the money?
I
Because
gotta say.
One Piece is huge. Yes, it's like a top tier anime, but
Yeah.
it's also you're just having to read. You're gonna have to wait 20,000 years for a dubbed something, or you're gonna have to just read it and sub. And a lot of people
Yeah, that's.
don't like sub,
Yeah.
especially a lot of normal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this word lightly, but like regular average consumers, because of course a weeb is gonna be like, oh yeah, I love reading, but you're not gonna pick up Brisha from the hood and make her read. No, she's just gonna be like, oh, this ain't English, so I'm not doing it.
Yo,
I gotta say though, like with this Persona, the series, like Persona 3, 4, and 5,
Oh,
because they're like big as hell right now.
oh no.
They would not be near as
Right,
big if they didn't have English dubs in them. Like that's just a straight fact.
right.
Cause in 2017, when Persona 5 came out, there was two games that were real big that year: Breath of the Wild and Persona 5. And Persona 5 barely lost out. It was a really good game, but I swear to you, if the English voice acting was not on point, that shit wouldn't got nowhere near. Because think about it.
Yeah.
Like people, imagine how many people playing that shit. A lot of people had to play that shit. Not a lot of people would like to sit through a game 100 hours, not hearing their own language. Not many
'cause,
people
like,
like that.
yeah, because like you already got to read in it to like to select stuff and do all that other. So combine that with the dialogue, yeah, I would do it.
I gotta read the story.
Yeah,
Like
that's
after a while, your brain is gonna tune out some of the shit you're reading, and you're gonna miss a lot of important information.
Yeah.
You're gonna like not give a fuck about everything, and you're gonna start saying, "Why the fuck am I playing this, man? Let me just go cut on fucking Call of Duty again."
That's
And
why I never Whenever I replay like Persona games, that's why I never pick the Japanese option because I know good damn well, even though I know the story precisely, I'm still gonna be confused as to what's happening, bro. Unless I'm like skimming through it, but like, dog, that's nah.
Yeah, I don't like.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so since we're talking about video games, Nintendo-based games are pretty much all, they're all like, if they're straight up from Nintendo, they're not just like from a different company that bought them. A lot of it, isn't it just all localized now because they've
Yeah.
grown to a global scale? Because
Yeah.
Nintendo just started off as an Asian company, and now look, they're across the entire globe because of localization, which is why I don't understand why people want to gatekeep dub and want to be like, no, you're not allowed to have it. Like, just it's gonna stay in Japanese, bitch. That no one's gonna make any money. They want they want these games to stay in an authentic Japanese, but the developers are going to be broke by the time the third game comes out if they don't do something to get everybody into the game.
It's an elitism thing. It's like, hold on, don't change the shit I like for these new niggas. We are here till day one. We are the greatest. It's great how it was. Don't change shit. Damn it!
I think it's that, and some people like the Japanese.
Some people do like the Japanese voice acting better.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this though.
My thing is, they speak like. Oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, actually no, I'm gonna go on for a little bit. So you go ahead.
I was gonna say, girl, them people who be like, oh, like I love the Japanese and I like it. It's like, bitch, you can barely speak half the language. I feel like it's a thing where they speak the anime version of the language. They speak the words that are in the animes and in the mangas. They couldn't go to Japan and be fluent. They couldn't go to Japan and order food and get a hotel room and take a taxi somewhere. Like they just speak the anime Japanese. That's because that's a whole different thing. You're not fluent just because you know what the TV's saying. You're not that girl.
Bro. God damn.
I found out that's not even a real word. That's not even a real word. I found out. That shit's not even a real word. So you go over there and you say that to somebody, they were like, "What the fuck is that?" You Naruto ass.
Bro.
But now this is the part where I start talking mad shit. Because fuck Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I hated that shit day one. I keep on bringing it back. I keep on taking it back there about how much I hate it. I will not stop. I will not drop my hate. My hatred will burn forever. And I'm not gonna lie, the voice acting in the game was ass. Japanese and English, but especially English. Because nigga, what the fuck was they doing?
You know what's funny, bro?
Yeah, I know that nigga won an award. The main nigga won an award for that shit.
No. The funny thing is, I don't know if you saw it in the direct, but they're gonna have DLC. It's gonna have him.
He's gonna be in the third one in the DLC. Hate it. Fuck him. He's stupid as shit. His voice acting was bad. And you know what? I'm not gonna blame it on the voice actor. That's the voice director. Fuck the voice director. But you know what? Nah. The voice director knew that the game was gonna be ass, so he said, "Let me not put no work into it." Cause he knew that shit was garbage. He knew that shit was garbage. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, garbage. I'm not gonna hold you.
That was
Garbage.
just
The game was horny and bad. Like, pick a disability. Horny and bad? Damn. Like, none of this shit was fun. Nothing in it was fun. It was gratuitous.
Bro.
Does this mean we get the trash
think-
on Danganronpa 2?
Yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead. I mean, I like
I
dub.
remember,
I don't remember the dub being bad in Danganronpa.
I remember, you know.
Your voice cut now.
And it was a scene, bro. It was a scene, bro. It was. He was just sitting there while he was like, bro, this voice acting. Seeing his reaction to the whole thing. It was that part where he fights that dude in the hat or some shit. It was this dude in the fucking hat. He had like a black hat, black fedora on. And it was so bad. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like he was just like, ugh. What is that? What is it? There's no like, Just don't and then it's like he took his time to go to the choke shit, the first one where the famous line, "I'll kill you." Like I'm like, how do you go from that?
He said that was so much power. I remember that. He said that was so much power and force. I was like, God damn.
I was like, bro, I don't know. And the thing that was weird about it was he won an award for. I was like,
Understandable. I mean, no, not really, but it's like whatever.
I guess he deserves.
This is why I don't trust the Game Awards. I don't trust no awards that goes to games. The Game Awards isn't even like properly scheduled or nothing. They had that one nigga break a world record because they didn't like schedule their time right, and they just had him go on for 7 minutes. I love Christopher Judge. What the fuck you stand up there for 7 fucking minutes talking about? You ain't got no way you had that many niggas to thank. On Twitter afterwards, he said, before I was interrupted, I also wanted to thank some other people. I was like, nigga, no way. You had fucking that was half of a SpongeBob episode you just sat and did. No way.
Honestly,
bro, I don't think he had anything planned because he probably didn't think he was gonna get the voice. Probably just like, oh shit.
He just
thank family, friends, everything.
He just they said, hey, you want to come to the Game Awards? He's like, oh, I bet. And then he said, hey, yo, you won. And he was like, huh? Shit, I got not prepared, but okay.
Because he wasn't expecting twice. He was not expecting to win twice. Because he won last time. He won last year. God of War came.
That was 2018.
He was not expecting. Yeah.
I think the funniest part about it was that the nigga that voiced Atreus in that game, he looked pissed. He was sitting in that shit. He was looking bad about it. He was just.
I would too, bro. Cause how you win 2 times?
Yeah, I would too.
Like, I like that nigga right there. Like, no, you don't. Nah, bro, you can't. You just over here happy that you got it. I ain't get it. Like, damn, bro. Like, I would be upset.
But we are skipping. We are moving past the point of Summon Dub. We keep doing that. We did it like a lot already. That's okay. It's fun. It's whatever. It's fun. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, man.
Yeah,
It gives the podcast content. It's fine.
That's true.
Wait, say what?
You were gonna say something. Tell me what you were gonna say.
Was I? Well, I guess I'll say. Yeah, it's weird. I think a lot of it has to do with license. I don't know how that shit works. Like, a lot of games, like and stuff like. I guess they just don't got the. Like, yeah, One Piece has a lot of fucking names that are in Japanese. And as someone that's played the little like Pirate Warrior shit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I tried to play the newest one, the most recent one. I couldn't sit through it. I had to take
Understandable.
a lot of this. Like, I don't know. And it's weird because it's Bleach. Bleach is they have dub and sub too, right?
They do have dub games. Nigga, how you gonna tell me that One Piece can't get any dub games, but Bleach can get a dubbed Nintendo DS game? Tell me how that makes sense. Nintendo DS. Nintendo DS. I have it. I have that game.
Nintendo DS.
Bleach Dark Souls. I had this game in my fucking 3DS on my desk right now. I don't know if the cartridge works, but I got it. It's in dub.
Damn. Probably the first nigga in existence that to have your hands on it. That's great.
I'm not the first nigga in existence to have my hands on it. I might be the last though. I don't know if anybody else has this game anymore, but I like this game. I love it. It's a cool fighting game. I like Bleach. But it's kind of crazy to think that like a fighting game on a Nintendo DS can get like the funding for a localization team more than a One Piece game in 2023 that's an RPG. Like, I feel like if it's an RPG, that's where you should like try to get some localization in it. Because like it's like you're gonna have people sit through like a lot of dialogue. RPGs are a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, a lot of text menus and boxes and shit. So like if you have like a lot of that, a lot of text and shit, niggas are gonna get burnt out sometimes. Oh, that nigga gone. Niggas are gonna get burnt out in that.
A whole lot of jibber jabber.
A whole lot of jibber jabber. That's why Persona 5 and Persona 4 and Persona 3 they were good because they had English in it. Pokemon is good, even though it's like a whole bunch of talks because those boxes are small. You said what though?
What about Yukari? What about Yukari?
Yukari's ass! But that's besides the point. Oh, he's back.
Damn. Why is he holding something? What is that?
He's not holding nothing. That's his little pouch on his side.
That should look like a clipboard. Oh, that's a
That's like I ain't never seen Black Clover. That's a book or some shit.
My computer fucking.
damn.
What was I saying? Yeah, the Bleach has sub and dubs.
Yeah, they have some sub and dub games. Like their smartphone games,
Yeah.
of course, they're gonna be sub, but they're like the last game I remember, Bleach Soul Resurrection for the PS3. I think that has dub in it. I don't remember. I remember I had it, but like I don't remember if it was sub or dub. I think it was dub. But I know for a fact the Nintendo DS game called Bleach Dark Souls that definitely had dub in it.
I don't know.
Damn.
I guess some of the series, like in J-Stars, a lot of characters in that game, bro, they do not have.
The thing
Some of them have dub, but like it's only for like one season. It's only for
The thing that
A lot
was
of the
asked
rest are
about
just
J
sub.
Stars, the thing that was asked about J Stars to me was that okay, sure, whatever, it's a fighting game, so you don't need like English voicing for it. But the thing is, not every line has subtitles. They'll say a thing in Japanese, and you just completely won't understand it at all. So it's like you just shit out of luck if you want to understand it at all. Better fucking pull out the Japanese
like-
textbook, nigga. And you won't even know if it's
what's Gintoki.
I remember.
I was gonna say like Gintoki doesn't have a dub voice. Pretty sure. I know fucking what's his. I know the dude with the baby on his back. He definitely doesn't have a dub.
Oga.
Definitely
Tatsumi Oga.
Tatsumi. He does not have a dub. A lot of those characters. So it's like, I don't know. I guess they just don't.
But the thing is,
give a fuck about.
you can't even use that like argument if they don't have a dub voice because they could just find someone. Because in a JoJo game called All Star, not All Star Battle, it was fucking Eyes of Heaven. When that shit came out, they were only up to like part 4 of the anime, and they had voice actors for part 5, 6, 7, and 8. Where did they come from? They just found some niggas to voice
no
them.
dub.
No dub. I mean, of course, no dub because JoJo wasn't as popular as back then as it was now. But like, they found
It's
voice actors
weird.
for it. Like, you can't just say like,
because like
yeah.
like it's just weird because like I guess because I feel like in their minds if they give these characters voices, they'll be like, oh, we have to give them dub for the show, man. But it's not license.
I gotta also say this. I remember the dumbest reason I ever heard somebody say for watching sub over dub in like anime. The nigga said, "Oh, I watch sub because people always talk about the dub voice actors, and I like to give like the underdogs like a listen and all that." And I thought that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard because the nigga literally just basically said, "I watch sub because I want to be different."
No, you're talking about.
I know y'all know who I'm talking about. Maybe y'all might. I'm gonna text it to y'all. Yeah, you know. You know. You know.
Fucking some voice actors, but that's the thing. The thing is, those some voice actors get credit too. Like
They do.
a lot of people. I be going on Twitter, and a lot of people are like, oh shit, that person's gonna voice motherfucking Tanjiro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Oh my god! It's like so. Yeah,
I also gotta say this.
I think
It makes a lot more sense to see people hype up the voice actors in your language because the way that the internet social media works. I want somebody to just go on their timeline a second and just test. Scroll for like 10 seconds and count how many fucking Spanish tweets you see. You probably ain't gonna see many Spanish tweets because that's not your language.
yeah.
You fucking have it in like your
And
settings
also-
that what your language is, so they won't show you shit that you don't understand.
I think the craziest thing though,
Was that one time we were seeing the shit?
and then the dub voice actor Kirito was voicing Inosuke, and then I found out
Oh shit.
that the sub voice actor Kirito was voicing Inosuke. It's like,
Oh, that's
wait,
funny.
what? That's fucking
funny.
weird as shit. I thought that shit was weird as shit, and like for some sub voice actors, they voice the dub too. Like, there's this one new show that's come out, and he voiced the dub version of her character, and
Oh,
I think some of that.
that's cool.
God.
Mm-hmm.
God. Dang.
That's tough.
God.
Uh, I also want to put say this too. Why the fuck did I say that? I didn't have nothing in my head. I don't know why I said that. But
Yeah.
I like how like in localization it's not just like for some I don't understand sometimes localization is hard because sometimes you'll have something cultural in like a game or a show or whatever. And that's like why it's hard to localize it. Or something copyrighted
Right.
someplace else. Like JoJo itself. Like you watch that dub, the names of characters and stands and abilities are not going to be the same as in sub because of localization and copyright and shit. Like
Right.
like a 3DS Ace Attorney game did not come out until like 2 years ago because like in America because they couldn't use the name Sherlock Holmes. They couldn't localize that bitch
Yeah, it's
because
crazy.
you can't use that nigga's name. Like the legal
Yeah.
copyright around that shit.
Copyright is
Yeah.
Copyright crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. It's damn near
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
You been quiet, Aloe. What
Alright,
you
good.
gotta say?
All my knowledge of sub and dub ended once I made my points. I'm not gonna lie, because I
That's
don't play many
understandable.
games that have that issue. So
Oh shit. I'm back. Oh,
But you know what? The fact that
all hell on my face. Gee.
I know about a game you do play where this is actually like a neat conversation point. I feel like in games like Overwatch and Tekken, they kind of smart because they'll have like a character from a specific place, and they'll speak part like the language of that specific place sometimes. Well, in Overwatch, it's just like little flavor text, but in Tekken, that niggas will just completely speak that one language whole time. Like if they
Exactly.
Brazilian, they'll only speak Brazilian Portuguese. If they Chinese, they'll only speak Chinese.
Oh yeah, like Widowmaker be speaking garlic bread. You know, she say we.
And if
I'm glitching
like
into the ground.
She
Like-
do.
Hold on.
if you from Final Fantasy, you speak Japanese. Like, know what I mean? Like that's how Tekken work. And I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like, look,
Like I know.
I feel like that's
like,
very hard
In
localization
Overwatch,
wise. I feel like that's very hard localization wise because, like, because if you do it like Overwatch's way, that's kind of hard because that means you'll have to have not only like a voice actor for this that knows how to speak English, well, they'll have to know the language of the character they're playing as. If you want to have like little neat flavor text.
I will say in Overwatch, if your character has an ultimate that speaks a different language, then on the enemy team, like let's say I'm fighting a Widowmaker. If the enemy Widow uses her ultimate, she says her ultimate in French. But then on their team, all their teammates hear. Anyways, and then on our team, you'll hear no one can hide from my sights. Like, so, and they do that for everyone. Honestly, everyone though. Like, Doomfist be doing it. Like, I'm pretty sure it's only the American characters or the characters who natively speak English that don't do that. But all the characters that got anybody with a different little language, they gonna do that.
Like when Baptiste, he got Haitian Creole. Lucio, he got Brazilian Portuguese.
Creole.
You got Somber with
Creole.
Spanish. You got Diva with Korean.
Taco.
Genji. What the
Yeah,
fuck,
bro. You said what?
Dragon God said taco when you said Spanish.
I'm so sick of you.
I didn't even say taco.
Yes, you did. We all
Fuck
heard
it.
you.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Move on. I'm sick.
You got Genji and Hanzo. They speak Japanese sometimes. Like, it's very neat because that takes work and effort that I respect. I mean, fuck Activision Blizzard,
Right.
like obviously, but that was like dedication of work to do that. To get like voice actors that can do they can do both. Like, that's kind of clean. I respect that. Oh my god, I'm not speaking in meows on a podcast. I'll do it next stream, nigga. I'll do it next stream, nigga. I'll do it next stream, nigga.
Oh,
Let me block you. Let me block you, nigga. Let me block you, nigga.
Yeah, just block him.
Block him.
Block that nigga. He's
Oh,
gone.
block him.
He doesn't exist
Block
anymore.
him.
Wait, VR chat.
I blocked him.
Yeah, he's blocked.
Look what you.
I can't hear him anymore or see him.
I'll give it a few seconds. I'll block him in a little bit. But yeah, I think it's real neat that
I hate the
Overwatch-
fuck out of it.
What do you do? What do you do?
That poor K.
I
That
hate
poor
him.
K.
I hate him. I do like that Overwatch does that, and Tekken does the way that they do it, and I think like that makes localization easy but harder at the same time, because like of course like the localization
Dragon's
is in the
walking
game.
up to you. Don't unblock him yet. Don't unblock
Okay.
him. Dragon's behind you.
Oh my god, the localization is in the
Go, man.
is in the game.
Move.
So it's like you can't have the game without the localization, but at the same time, it's like the only localization that you really need to do is the menus, because like the base game itself already has everybody's like spoken language and shit. Story mode. I forgot. Story mode has text and shit. You gotta translate that. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
you gotta do
Yeah.
you gotta do like the flavor text. You gotta translate the flavor text and shit. That's key. That's the keyboard flavor text. You gotta do that too. But I do like that they do that. Tekken and Overwatch does that. Is he still behind me?
No, he's on the move.
He's on the move.
He's on the fucking move. He's in his chair.
Where's he at? Where is he? He's somewhere here. Oh, beat his ass.
He's in his chair.
Okay, he's in the chair. Okay, man, let me unblock that nigga. You gonna be good? You gonna be good, boy?
I hate him.
You gonna be good? I'm
Hey.
talking to you. Whatever.
Fuck, I hate him.
I hate him too. But yeah, that's a. I hate the elite, but that's the thing. Also, I'll go back to the elitism shit. I hate the elitism idea
Yeah.
that the original language is best. Because that's not always true, and there's not a very good metric of there's no way to really gauge that, honestly. Unless you speak both languages fluently, you can't tell which language is better. You can feel you could get some of the emotion. You could get a glint of the emotion that they're feeling while they're saying it. But at the same time, if the motherfucker's saying something goofy, the motherfucker's saying something goofy. Like, imagine a motherfucker just yelling something passionately with all his chest in Japanese, and then the text reads, "I really want a finger in my butt right now." Like it's a whole different it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different feeling, like to what
Honestly-
you're hearing than what you're seeing.
Honestly, what I think it is, bro, is like I feel like Japanese people, they have a lot of fucking.
Yeah.
Like, they have a lot of. And when they be screaming, like the Bongo voice actor, the sub, he be I know he had to like. I looked it up on the news, or like it was on there. He had to take a break because his throat was just gone.
Damn.
His throat was fucking done. He had to go hospitalized. I think he had to take a break for like 3 months or so. He couldn't do the next season. Well, luckily the season was over. He could not. After 5, he had to take 3 months. I was like, Christ. So, like, they just be giving it out. He be yelling there, having a lot of energy to just crash there. I'm like, I don't understand how they can. I don't understand. Christ.
And I will say this too.
I know that shit.
I will say this too. Some things, like, they are better just in their, like, what they were their intended language. Like,
But,
you listen to like in anime in Japanese, and then you listen to Adventure Time in Japanese. They are not the same.
right.
Adventure Time was
Right.
not made for
Yeah.
Japanese. That was made for English. But then at the same time,
Especially
some things
Boondocks.
that I was about to say, some things are not meant to be localized like that. Why the fuck is there a Japanese dub of Boondocks? Why are the Japanese people talking about nigga moments? This is like the Boondocks is like
me too.
the like Boondocks is like about American culture. It's not like Black American culture, like a parody of a Black American culture or whatever the fuck. But it's like, so like I can see like, yeah, sure, worldwide you can get entertainment out of it, but I don't know, like, put that shit in subtitles. They don't need to hear a Japanese person say nigga. Why does a Japanese you couldn't just like use a different word? You had to say nigga. You had to say
It was
nigga.
so awkward, bro.
Oh, I heard that
That was
shit.
so awkward.
But that nigga was talking about nigga moments. I was like, what? He said nigga about 74 times. He said nigga more than I say nigga in the stream. I say it a lot.
Oh. I can only
I
imagine how
never
hard.
use such profanities, but you know,
I can-
honestly,
Let me do that take again.
I can only imagine how hard the Japanese voice actor for fucking what's his name, Stinkbiter, bro. I can only imagine how hard he was going. 'Cause I know he was saying that word over and over again, bro. He was saying it over and over.
Imagine somebody say you
Yeah,
eat a
man.
dick, nigga. You eat a dick in Japanese. And it's just the Dio voice actor just saying that
but the
shit.
thing is, nigga doesn't exist. The word nigga doesn't exist in Japanese because the word
So they just say nigga.
is literally they're just straight up saying nigga. There is no excuse. They're just literally saying nigga.
Yeah.
And it's an official dub, which means nobody fucking explained to them that nigga was a bad word, or they just didn't care.
They didn't care.
I
They didn't
think
care.
they didn't really care.
If they got the license, to make it official, that means they went through a long process of everybody checking it, and it was just pretty much
Yup.
they were like, oh well, fuck them, we don't like them, fuck them.
And I feel like that's really bad.
We don't like
Like,
we don't like them chocolate people.
I feel like that's a really bad because let's say like that's playing on like Japanese television and like a kid sees it and then whenever they see a black person now they go nigga, like no, like the fuck, that's not okay. They'll pull up to a black person and say,
We got
oh,
like 30 seconds left.
they'll pull up to a black person and say, oh, nigga momento, like no, fuck, like what the hell.
We have 30 seconds left.
You
We
are
gotta
right.
talk about Japanese people saying nigga.
Tell me, Kaiser, tell me your final thoughts and your final thoughts on this.
Well, I think. All right. I think that when we localize stuff, we should explain things. Like what things like
Definitely
explain things
better.
that should be said, should not be said. And I think that if we can't do it, if even though some companies got a lot of money, so they can definitely do it. If we can't do it to all languages, we should at least try to get at least like 90% of them. 90%.
I mean, there's like 600 languages out there.
Yeah, at least the most that you can, like,
Yeah.
so that a lot of people can
Plus the
enjoy this
Dizzycast
stuff, like, and especially if it's like a heavy dialogue story, like, because I know there's
That's
a lot of
facts.
people from like countries that want to enjoy. Just try to make sure mostly everyone can get it. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Some people, in some games are banned in certain countries.
that's facts.
I don't remember. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there was this one game. I don't know why it was banned, but it was like damn. Like that, like I don't know, it was some.
Your mic be cutting out sometimes.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I understand.
That's my fault.
Nah, you good. Dragon, talk to me. Tell me your final thoughts, man.
Man, to be honest with you, it's crazy, man. Like sometimes you gotta let shit just be as it is, and sometimes, maybe some things are bad as it is. But we need one thing straight though. We should never let Asian people say the nigga word. No.
The nigga word. The nigga word. Aloe, what the fuck happened to
Honestly,
my- Aloe,
Hey.
any final words?
I like to say that I'm the only one with class and decorum at this table. Let's see the hoodlum and ghettos coming out of all of you.
Just because I don't
shine.
have pants
But,
on does not mean I'm hood and ghetto.
holy
They got us fully
You don't have
naked.
pants
I
on,
don't
but
know
you
what- I don't know what
you
y'all
don't
talking
have
about.
pants on, but you got a do-rag on. How you make that work? Okay,
my
anyways,
my head up here, my legs down here. I don't want to bend down. I'm lazy.
anyways, yes, I feel like I don't really give a fuck. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna listen to dub. So you bitches out there who hating on sub and dub and da.
Oh,
Bitch,
shit.
fuck all you sub bitches.
Oh.
You bitches are sub par. Okay, how about that?
Date bio.
Okay, I gotta say, I forgot we didn't mention
Okay.
Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is the best localization of all time. Okay, I love y'all.
We have a minute left.
I know, I'm about to say I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope your mama done good. Hope your daddy done
I
good.
know
I hope your
nobody's
auntie
on
done
the
good.
street.
I hope,
Where's
where's my camera? Oh, there
I
you
got
go.
a niggas riding off the street. And they running rashes on the street.
Oh, let me know.
Come here.
There we go. Okay, I love y'all. I hope your mama good. I hope your daddy them good. I hope your auntie, uncle, your grandmama them good. I bet. So I know this man. He works at this little military store, right? His name fuck. He works at this little military store, right? I want you. I want y'all to go and see if he's okay, right? But not him, but his dog, because I be hearing he got BB guns and shit all up in his house, and then like late at night, cause he my neighbor, I be hearing that dog go. I don't know if he's shooting that dog or whatever, and beating the fuck out of it. Or maybe he beating the fuck out of his wife, and his dog is just like, damn man, stop that. Why don't you just go in their house and just like sneak in at night? Go check. That's your mission for today. All right. If you don't go do that, I'll be very disappointed. I promise you, I'll be very disappointed if you don't do that. Okay. I love y'all. Bye. Where the fuck is my stream button at? Where can I stop it at? Oh, I had to scream at